Hello, this is Billy Core from the Carolina Circle Mall Wiki. Today is Friday, June the 13th of 2014, and what you're looking at here is, well, for one thing, it's obviously a laptop. This is a Compaq Armada E500 that I bought about 2 or 3 weeks ago from the Power Mac Galaxy, and I've been needing another Windows 98 gaming computer, and because I'm not as into Windows 98 gaming as a lot of people, a laptop is really all I need, and I wanted the best one I could get, and from the research I've done, the Compaq Armada E500 is the best for the job. And we can't have a Compaq video or anything related to Compaq without having our good friend Video Sans Frontiers, aka Jay Wakefield, with us, and here he is on Skype.
Hello everyone. How's everyone here? I'm really happy that Billy has finally got himself a Compaq Armada E500. I, on the other hand, have just got myself a gym badge. I have a bad cold.
Oh gosh.
Watching my Acer Troublemaker video, you already know that.
Scan disk!
Yeah, make sure you run scan disk.
Anyway, first things first, let's, I wish I had better lighting here, but let's take a look at the exterior of the laptop and see what all we have. On the front here, we have something that really makes this worth the price of admission for me. This is a tri-spindle laptop, meaning not only do you get one external drive bay, you get two. You got your focus. You got a floppy disk drive and a CD-ROM drive, which can easily be replaced with a DVD-ROM or a CD-RW or a DVD-ROM/CD-RW combo drive, which I plan to get sometime in the pretty near future for this.
So can you tell me what kind of drives are there at the moment?
Just a plain CD-ROM.
Right enough. That's how I started. But Blue Planet 64 fans will actually remember when I got the original E500, it just had a CD drive. In fact, I actually believe that when I was Video Sans Frontiers, the first video I made of the machine, I was at Penumbra, it still only had a CD-ROM only drive.
I remember that video. It was from around Christmas time of 2012, I want to say.
Actually, no, it was August of 2012.
Oh.
I made a follow-up video in February of 2013 once I'd upgraded to a bigger hard disk and was installing a dual boot Windows 98 2000.
Now that's something I'll get to in a minute here. But right now the hard drive I have in here, speaking of hard drives, is a what is it? Oh, it's an 80 gigabyte drive, which is way more than enough for Windows 98. I had planned on dual booting with Windows 98 and Windows 2000 on here, but unlike Jay's Armada E500, this Armada E500 hates Windows 2000 with a passion. You try to install it, and after the text portion is set up, it'll reboot, but then all you get is just a blinking cursor, so I have no clue what's going on there, but oh well, Windows 98 is what I mainly wanted this laptop for anyway.
But you can use your Compaq Armada for the blink.
True.
I feel bad. Hello YouTube, I feel bad for the snakes because they can't do the blink. I wasn't aware that snakes couldn't blink, by the way.
Me neither.
Sorry about that, by the way, guys. Yes, I did actually find that quite odd. I mean, Billy and I were actually chatting about the Compaq Armada E500 and how his would be boot into Windows 2000. However, Windows 2000 does not a reasonably good laptop necessarily make. So, you know,
especially if you want to do some retro gaming.
Yeah, I mean the only time I would say Windows 2000 is necessary is if you want to play Theme Park World, because it doesn't like the ATI drivers Windows 98. So, you know, on the Armada E500, if you're playing Theme Park World, you kind of have to use Windows 2000. But I'm guessing Billy's more a roller coaster tycoon person.
I remember playing that game you're talking about years and years ago, but it's been years since I played it. But yeah, I'm more of a roller coaster tycoon guy.
And to be honest, it's not one of the sort of games that will work if you have to have the original to get it to work. It doesn't. You can't get a copy. You probably can get it working, but I've never had much luck with copies. Copies. It's best to get an original. Obviously, because we're on YouTube, we have to say that anyway.
Yes,
so
yes.
always get legitimate software, and please, I implore of you, don't copy that floppy.
Okay, I think the people at Google have stopped looking now, but here is the here is the right side of the laptop. Again, sorry about the poor lighting. Okay, that's a little better. We got 2 PCMCIA slots. Right here we got a microphone in and a headphone out. And not only do we have a 56K dial-up modem, telephone jack, you also have built-in Ethernet, which comes in very handy for me to link it to my main computer here to put files on. Got infrared, composite out. Turn to the back here. You get only one USB port, a AC power jack, serial port, VGA out, a docking station port, a parallel printer port, and a PS2 mouse and keyboard port. Oh boy, that gets heavy with just one hand. And on the left side, not a whole lot except the battery, which is completely useless right now. And now we can open it up and take a look at the screen in all its glory. Ah, there we go. Okay, focus.
So I'd say that you have the 14-inch screen then?
Yes, I do, which I prefer.
Whereas mine, I believe, is a 13-inch screen that's got a slightly thicker bezel. Now, I did have a 15-inch one of those, and I've got to tell you, whereas the 13 and 14-inch ones look quite, have kind of a sleek appearance, even though the Armada E500 is quite thick compared to other machines, certainly the much sleeker M700, I do like the look of the E500, but in its 15-inch, guys, it kind of looks like the back of a bus that's been crumpled.
Plus, if you recall on my Dell Latitude C800 I had for a short time recently, the video resolution on it was ridiculously high, and it drove me insane.
Yeah, just like the Dell Latitude C810s actually, the resolution 1440 by 1050 on a 15-inch screen. Get real. See, they've skipped out, 1280 by 1024 even on a 15-inch screen is a bit much, but 1440 by 1050. That's just. But that's kind of what they do. They try and eke out the highest resolution possible, and it's like even now,
sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes it's not a good thing.
I mean, what are you going to do? Claim that you've got a Compaq Armada E500 with a 15-inch Retina display? Apple will be knocking at your door if you try doing that.
Oh gosh, yeah, especially all the Apple fanboys out there. But as you can see here, we have some hotkeys, which you cannot see due to this lighting. I'm sorry, folks, but you get 2 power switches and the keyboard LEDs. And you can also see here the major defect with this computer, although it's only with the keyboard. We are missing the right shift key. But fortunately, replacement keyboards are extremely cheap on eBay, and I'm going to get around to replacing it very soon.
They're very easy to replace.
And we have a touchpad, left click, right click, and a faded out Pentium 3 sticker. I might get that replaced somehow, and it's designed for Windows 2000 that is if it works. Windows NT Workstation 4, and my preferred one for this computer, Windows 98, and somehow also Windows 7. brought to you courtesy of the Power Mac Galaxy. This sticker right here.
You don't stand still too long in front of the Power Mac Galaxy. You'll get Windows 7 sticker plastered on you.
Really?
Seriously, people do that.
And speaking of the Power Mac Galaxy, when I bought this from him, he included a few bonuses with this laptop. He wasn't able to include a AC power cord. Thankfully, I had one that worked. But he also included a few interesting pieces of paperwork. First of all, we have this. It's a picture of the official Compaq guy, which is simply put a picture of Jay here with his E500.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's nice. I appreciate that.
And he sent me something else, but I don't seem to have it with me. I thought I did. Oh well, but if I find it later, we can look at it.
I've just realised something. Got me a set of Pentium 3 stickers!
Oh boy, I could use one of those for this.
I've got 8 of them. I don't ever remember ordering that many, but I have them, so...
Alright, I'm going to pause the video now so I can set this camera up on the tripod and we can watch it fire itself up. And we are back. We're now ready to turn it on here, so let's hit the power switch here. Alright, we got
while we're waiting for that to boot up, could you talk us a wee bit through the specs of the machine?
Oh, it has an 80 gigabyte hard drive, 256 megabytes of RAM, and I believe an 800 megahertz Pentium 3.
So, pretty formidable machine for games then.
Yeah, very good, especially since I don't do anything heavy duty with Windows 98 to begin with.
Well, mine is actually pretty good as well. I do actually use it quite a bit.
Alright, we'll boot into Windows eventually. Have patience, my friends. Alright, enter your network password for Microsoft Networking. I don't have a password, so I'll just hit enter. Oh yeah, I have a joystick hooked up here to here that I haven't plugged in before, so we'll have to set it up with the Add New Hardware Wizard. Shouldn't be too big a deal. And it just uses the generic USB human interface device driver. Yes, I want to keep the file. Yes! YouTube probably compressed it too much, but I don't know if you could tell, but this laptop has amazing speakers built into it.
It does. And there's a good reason for that. It's actually JBL speakers that are built into the chassis of that machine.
Hard to go wrong with JBL.
Aye, it is. I mean, JBL was something that Compaq were actually using quite a lot of in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Now, one thing about this laptop is that it has a CMOS battery that has bought the farm. So right now it thinks the date is January the 4th of 1980, which is kind of wrong if you ask me. So we'll so we'll set it to something a little more reasonable. June. The year 2014, June the 13th, and it's 10:21 p.m. Yeah, I gotta get the CMOS battery replaced on here so I don't have to do this every time I turn the thing on. Of course, it's still not as bad as Jay's travel mate from yesterday's video.
What isn't, sorry?
the CMOS battery. It's not as bad on here as it is on your Travelmate.
Oh, nowhere near. Oh my goodness, that, for those of you who've not seen my video, that thing forgets the time even if you do a warm restart. You know, just, you've got to restart your computer for any reason. Either you restart it or you install something and it insists on restarting your computer. That's it, the CMOS settings are gone. The time has been forgotten. It travels back in time to 1980. It's terrible. It's a terrible design. I just don't even know. It's the worst CMOS implementation I've ever seen.
Yeah,
That's
is just...
some pretty bad ones.
Alright, now let's do some system properties info here. We've got a genuine Intel, 256 megabytes of RAM, and all the drivers are accounted for on here. We have a ATI Rage mobility card. Let's see. By the way, Jay, you know how powerful it is?
How powerful is that?
I was hoping you would know.
What? Sorry.
How many megabytes it is, video memory?
Oh, it's an ATI M3, I do believe, with 8 megs of video RAM.
Ah, okay. That's kind of like a Latitude CPX.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like a CPX. You see, the Compaq Armada E500 was leveled in a market, and it's, in my opinion, its direct competitors were, probably among others, the Dell Latitude CPX, which is another business machine, Pentium 3, 8 meg video, removable drives. That had the disadvantage. It was a dual spindle, and really,
I actually looked into getting a CPX before I went with the E500, which CPXs are still great, but I like this better.
To be honest, there's, I mean, Colt will probably disagree with you because his fast childhood laptop with the CPX that lasted a long time. But
and his nostalgia is better than our logic.
I agree. I totally agree. However, I've had so many CPXs that have either died, nearly died, or been dead on arrival. So, I mean, I've got two that I'm happy with now, an H and a J, but if I've not done videos of them, then I will. But, I mean, the Armada E500 was pitched in the marketplace against competitors like the Dell Latitude CPX, like the Acer Travelmate 522TX, and, you know, maybe other machines that oh yeah, the ThinkPad 600X, and later on the T20 right through to the T23. Although the actually no, I wouldn't call the T23 a competitor as much. That was more a competitor for the Latitude C610 and the Evo, the Compaq Evos. But certainly the ThinkPad 600X through to the T21 is certainly a viable competitor to the Armada E500. And I've got to say, out of all of those, not that I'm biased or anything, while I like how the Acer has got 2 USB ports, whereas everyone else has just got one,
Appears I got a text message. But you go on, Jay, while I check
that's obviously what Billy's phone thinks of the ThinkPad T21.
What a surprise. I was hoping it was from a really good friend of mine I haven't heard in a while, but guess who it's from, Jay?
Chris Rogers.
Yep.
Right. So as I was saying, the not that I'm biased or anything, but the Compaq Armada E500, out of all the machines that I've just mentioned there, the E500 is quite obviously the best out of the lot of them.
I have to agree.
I mean, it's not necessarily my bias for Compaq, or maybe it is, but if we look at it logically, It's a tri-spindle device. It's got good screen scaling, which Dell's been doing since 1997, which, it took Compaq a while to catch up, but they did. And the speakers are better. It does, while it's let down by only having one USB port, to be honest, the rest of them, apart from the Acer, are dead. And you do get modem and Ethernet connections in it.
Yeah, I love the Ethernet connection on here. I'm able to transfer files from my main computer over to it through the network.
Aye, you are. The CMOS battery is very easy to fit on that compared to the likes of the Dell Latitude CPX, where you've actually got to basically pare the machine down to its component parts before you can actually...
Yeah, I had to do that to my Latitude CPI once.
And that is such a pain,
Yeah,
which is why my Latitudes think it's 1980. Whereas a Compaq, all you have to do is remove the keyboards around, the top LED shelf, and there you have it. You've got access to the CMOS battery.
Quick question. This is the CMOS battery. What kind of battery does it take? Does it take a proprietary?
It is a proprietary, but they are actually quite plentiful on eBay.
Oh, okay.
And they don't cost that much either. So a new CMOS battery, if you can get it, if you can buy one, if you can do it, I would definitely recommend it. Also, the service manuals are available in abundance for the Armada E500. They're also available for the Latitude CPX, the ThinkPad T21, but I've not seen a good one yet for the Acer TravelMate 522 TX7. But like I was saying, you get all what you do get in the Compaq Armada, and you do get a CD-ROM drive. No, you get JBL speakers. However, one thing I will say, where's the 1 GHz machines like the T23 and the Dell Latitude C610? That sort of machines, they do actually come with 16 meg video graphics. The Armada's E500 1 GHz model, it's still using the 8 meg video graphics. Probably because it is an E500, not the next model up, like the other machines are. But
True.
The fact that the Compaq Armada E500, you can go from a 450 MHz Pentium 2 right the way to a 1 GHz Pentium 3.
Anyway, we also have a Lucent Win modem. That modem is full of win.
Actually, being a win modem, it's not. All the modem stuff is actually done in software.
Yeah, it thinks it's all win, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
While Jay's in Scotland blowing his brains out, we have the default monitor here.
I hope I'm not bored your ears.
No, I'm sure they'll be okay. Trolls, I don't know, but the regular ones will be okay.
Sorry, I've done a wee bit of sleuthing in my old age. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to kill that call.
And the network card in here is an Intel Pro 100 Plus. Very nice and capable card. And for sound, we have the ESS audio driver.
M3, is it?
It doesn't say, but I'll take your word for it.
The ESS Maestro 3. Sorry, I sound pretty nasally now, so if I try and do an American accent, it'll probably come out Canadian, eh? I could probably get away with doing a quite convincing Canadian accent, eh?
Okay, now let's do a traditional Canyon test and show off how MIDI is on here. In my opinion, it sounds really good, but honestly, it's about what you would expect for a computer of this era. But anyway, but don't take my word for it. Da da da.
It's a ball! Oh. Well, another ball!
Oh, these are good speakers. Being a closet audiophile, I greatly appreciate that.
Tell you what, we drive that machine.
Alright, now I mentioned a while ago that I have a joystick plugged up to this computer. Well, that is so we can play pretty much one of my all-time favorite Windows 98, late 90s, early 2000s era computer games. It's a game that means a whole lot to me. From Microsoft, Midtown Madness. So we'll go ahead and pop it in the drive. I already have it installed on here, so we'll be good to go. Oh yeah, that's right. This computer, for whatever reason, does not like auto run. So we'll open it up manually. Thankfully we have a shortcut on the desktop. CD's a little scratched up. I've owned this since about 1999, maybe 2000. Click OK to have Midtown Madness detect the presence of a hardware accelerator card. Okay. Skip that.
That's 8 meg 3D video card from ATI.
Okay, the graphics options look reasonable enough. So we'll do a single player race. Okay, haven't played it on here before, so Billy Core. Iron's already set to the joystick. We'll just do a cruise. Let's see. No cops. Some pedestrians and just a little bit of traffic will do. And in this game, I always go for a red Ford Mustang. And let's go drive. If you don't know already, the city you get to drive through here is Chicago.
Here's your chance to check
Oh my
out your
gosh, it's
vehicle
loud.
and the environment to see exactly what you got.
Here we are. Graphics are a little bit blurry. Maybe I can fix that. Okay, let's go back to the race menu. I'm sorry about this, folks. Oh yeah, that's why the resolution was set to 320 by 240. Yeah. So we'll set it to 1024 by 768, the native resolution of this screen. I gotta change this again. No cops. A little bit of traffic and pedestrians. And let's try this again. Oh yeah, this looks a lot better already.
Now's your chance to check out the city of Chicago
Oh, yeah,
without
much
pesky
better.
opponents or ticking timers. Where you want to go? What you gonna do?
Oh yeah, here we go, folks. Oh, this brings back memories. Believe it or not, I actually used to play this on my old, never obsolete E-machine. It ran okay. It probably could have done better, but I didn't know better at the time. And I just ran into a taxi cab. What's wrong with me, Jake?
It looks like you forgot how to hail a taxi.
And folks, we are driving through the city that the TV shows Family Matters and Kenan and Kel took place in the 90s. So, if we happen to run over Steve Urkel, don't tell anybody. Well, this is Lakeshore Drive. Oh, this is so much fun. I also have Midtown Madness 2 somewhere, but I seem to have lost the disc. It's pretty much the same concept, except you're in San Francisco and London. Too bad you can't drive through Scotland.
I know. You know, it's just saying actually, I was saying to a couple of friends earlier that, you know, I love these train simulators you can get, but you can't even drive. You can't even, there's none that actually have Scotland in them that I know of. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know how you feel. A lot of these driving simulators we have over here in the States, they never have North Carolina, which is understandable. This isn't the most interesting part of the country, but still.
Yeah, to be honest, if I wanted North Carolina, I'd probably go on a flight sim.
Yeah.
Play the night brothers playing at Kitty Hawk.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were first in flight.
Apparently so, except for the people who took opium were a lot higher than you guys ever got, and that was in Victorian times.
Okay, I drove through glass and the sound of the glass shattering is frozen. There we go, it stopped. It was frozen and unable to move.
Reminded me of trying to run sound in Windows 3.1 by PCEM. The sound always freezes, so it's like beep, 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 beep.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, that's probably happened to me before running Windows 95 on that silly thing. Alright. Oh yeah, it's just a good game to drive your car around and just, you know, just let your mind wander and crash into a few things. Drive through boxes. Alright, let's see if we can jump over this open drawbridge. And we can!
You mentioned you were able to jump the drawbridge?
Yes!
That's pretty good, is that? No way.
Alright, let's get back on the highway.
In a Ford Mustang as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing I remember back in the heyday of the Midtown Madness games is that they had a very, very powerful modding community that, and I remember I would download all sorts of add-ons for it off the internet. Like, I remember for Midtown Madness 2, there was you could download different cars, and one of the cars was the Back to the Future DeLorean, which I obviously had to get.
Oh yeah. And I would definitely say that, actually I had a friend who had Bugatti Veyron. He actually used Bugatti.
Oh boy. Okay, I just totaled my car. I don't know. But like magic, my car has been completely repaired. Because this is a driving simulator. When you simulate driving, you can take liberties. Just which simulators are very well known to do, because obviously, like if you play Goat Simulator, it's pretty obvious that goats really can't cause that much destruction. Okay. I think I added too much traffic into this. And just like in a big city, everyone that drives around here has anger issues.
Of course.
Oh, I forgot I can do this. I can go to a dashboard view. Okay, sound skipping again. But if it's like before, it'll stop in a little bit. Okay, I just... In theory, you can run this on Windows 95, but this is just more of a Windows 98 game, in my opinion.
Alright.
Look at me! I'm driving like a maniac! Wow, I'm going about 160 miles an hour.
160 miles an hour in the city centre. That is...
Yeah, downtown Chicago. And
Yep.
I just wrecked. Because it's hard to go 160 miles an hour while making a sharp turn. Okay, this is starting to drag on a little bit, because I got another game I want to show off. And this game, well, it's another one from my childhood. You know it's a good game because it's made by Sierra. And once I find it, we will, give it a go. Alright, here we go. From Sierra, 1997, one of my all-time favorites, 3D Ultra Mini Golf.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and pop it in the computer. This game is a perfect example of a 90s computer game because it does not take itself seriously at all. It has the biggest sense of humor you can imagine, and that's why I love it so much. And we're only going to play a few holes, a few select holes, about maybe 3 of them, because these are the ones I find to be not the best, but the funniest. Okay, we'll go ahead and start 3D Ultra Mini Golf. Achoo! Sierra! Skip through that. Alright, we will do a new game. We'll just do select a hole. And we will do, we'll start off with the big shoe hole. 1 player. Put in my name. Now, you can select through different narrators in these holes, and I'm going to switch to another one because that's not the funny one.
There was an old woman who lived in a big shoe.
That one
She
isn't
had
funny
so
either.
Many children, it was a pod.
Darling, here you spy a great big shoe. And the secret is part 2.
Darling.
That's funny, but that's not the one I was looking for. Maybe this will be it.
There was an
Nope.
old woman who lived in a big shoe.
There was an old woman
Nope.
who lived in a big shoe. There was an old woman
Nope.
who lived in a big shoe.
Darling,
No.
here you spy a great big... There was an
Nope.
old woman who lived...
There was an old
No.
woman who lived in a big shoe. There was an
No.
old woman who lived in a big
Darling,
No.
here you spy a great big shoe. There was an
No.
old woman who lived in a big...
There was an old woman who lived
Come
in
on.
a big shoe.
Darling,
No.
here you spy a great big shoe. There was an old woman who lived in...
There was an old woman who lived in a big... There was an old woman who lived in a big shoe.
Darling, here you spy a great...
Now, up next, North.
Here we go.
The one that you've been waiting for. Now, they've excited audiences all over the world. Now, here they are, the really big shoe hole, part 2.
For those of you who don't know, that voice is supposed to be the late, great Ed Sullivan, the guy that brought everyone the Ed Sullivan Show.
As far as I knew, that was a real big show.
Yep, he was the guy that pretty much introduced the Beatles to America back in 1964.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
go ahead and stroke that pea right across the bridge. Or put it under that really big shoe.
I think I'll put it under that really big shoe. Oh, I think there was a little glitch there. Oh, alright. Almost had it.
Oh.
And there we go. Alright, now let's go to another hole. We want the volcano.
Part 3, volcano hole. Very good.
Yes, my favorite voice.
Shoot ball over lava bridge. Or smack it through lava tube.
I have mentioned in my videos from time to time when I'm playing an old computer game, a lot of times what makes a game for me isn't really the gameplay itself, it's just the voices in the game or something someone says in the game. Well, I'm going to show you the most perfect example of that phenomena. What you want to do is, when you're on the volcano hole and you have this particular voice, you want to just hit the ball into the lava. And I think Jay knows what's about to happen.
Shoot ball over lava bridge. Ball is lava so favorite.
It didn't work! It glitched, Jay. It glitched when she said it.
Ball is lava so favorite. Kino spirit day. Penalty stroke.
There we go. Hey! Penalty stroke.
Penalty stroke.
Ball is lava so favorite.
It glitched again.
Ball is lava so favorite.
It glitched again.
Ball is lava so favorite. Ball is lava so favorite.
Huh. Keeps glitching.
I'd say you probably need to update your direct text. That was very...
That's true, but at least it did it once. For those of you who didn't hear it, went, hey! Penalty stroke. Hey! Penalty stroke. Alright, and another hole I gotta show here. We want the bug hole. I love this music, by the way, this elevator music.
Actually sounds like something you might get on a Nintendo Wii, actually.
Or the music you hear when you see a screen saying, technical difficulties, please stand by.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that.
Alright, let's hope it does the right voice at first.
Bunghole, Archery.
And it didn't. Let's restart.
Hey, hello, Mindy Golfers. Squirmy D. Frog here, welcoming you to the Bunghole, where par is 3.
There's something wrong with this hole. The window isn't completely maximized, and it doesn't give me an option to do that.
Yeah.
How about, aiming for the anthole?
Where have I heard that
Maybe
voice?
try to hit on little froggy.
Sounds like a certain
Or
green
just putt under
puppet.
the hanging branch.
I think Jim Henson maybe had something to do with it.
Is it not Mr.
Oh,
Check?
that mean old spider snagged your ball. Oh, golly.
Was it not Mr. Crotchet out of Christmas Carol?
Could be. Okay, maybe I'll get it this time. Alright.
Sir, the workers would like some more, like another shovelful of coal for the fire. How would your workers like to be unemployed?
Yeah, Christmas Carol, which shows what happens to naughty, naughty men that treat their workers like crap.
Yeah. Only. But I don't see the CEO of Walmart out on the street in nothing but his dressing gown going, "Young boy, what day is this?"
But wouldn't you like to be the CEO of a major corporation?
I don't know is the correct answer to that, because I don't know how money would change me. Would it change me for the worse? Would I be able to use it for good, or would corruption and greed take over?
Anyway, I forgot to show off the programs I have installed on here. I got Toonland from 7th level, Best of Entertainment Pack from Microsoft, The Playroom,
Fantastic game.
Tonka Construction number 2,
Excellent.
Lego Loco. I thought I had a Lego Island on here, but
Lego Coco.
Loco. It's like a train simulator kind of thing for Lego. You make like model train sets with Legos.
Oh yeah.
And for Microsoft, I got Flight Simulator 98, Return of Arcade Anniversary Edition, Midtown Madness, which we saw a while ago, Revenge of Arcade, and Golf 3.0. Plus for 98, I always got to put that on any Windows 98 machine. Works 4.5, the Gus Games, 3D Ultra Pinball, which we just saw a second ago, The Incredible Machine, and 3D Ultra Pinball. Sonic CD, and of course, Microsoft Office 2000, which will open up Word 2000 here. Oh boy, we got an Office Assistant.
I've always really liked that paperclip. I know I'm in the minority here, but I love that wee guy.
Well, I'm part of that minority as well. It's a guilty pleasure. I do turn them off most of the time, but I usually bring them out to just to tinker with.
Okay.
Which we'll be nice to him tonight. We'll just keep him on for the remainder. Let's see. We'll set the font here to bold. And let me think of something to type, even though I don't have... Oh my gosh, that scared me. Something fell off there. And we will type something here, even though we don't have a right shift key. Okay. What should I type? Okay, focus camera. That's the best I could come up with for tonight. By the way, Jay, it says someday this program will have a giant ribbon on the top of this. And we can put it in red. We can change it from Times New Roman to something a little more pizzazzified, if that's even a word. Bauhaus 93.
I was thinking. Here was that.
And this font kind of looks like the font you would see on a discount store built sometime in the 70s.
It is. I remember at Temple Bank we actually had a bunch of Windows 3.1 machines, and it had a couple of Bauhaus fonts on it. You had Bauhaus Light, which was kind of like Bauhaus and regular, and then Bauhaus Heavy, which was very bold.
Okay, anything else I can show? This is going to be a pretty long video, but
I always used to read it off as Bahamas.
yeah, it's one of those things where I guess you could pronounce it any way you want. But I hate to do this, but I think it's about time to go ahead and shut this down. We'll get to hear the shutdown sound. I love the Utopia sound scheme. I don't use it on 95, but I do use it on 98. And this pretty much concludes the video. Jay, do you have any final thoughts about this computer?
I guess, well, actually, yeah, it's really nice that you have finally actually managed to get a hold of a Compaq Armada E500 after all these years, and that's, well, I've got to be honest, and sometimes not the easiest of machines to get a hold of, but once you get one, Pentium 3 processing power, 3D graphics with 8 megs of video memory, tri-spindle design, you know, good sized screens, you know, even on the 13-inch one. You know, you're not necessarily left wanting too much. You know, good scaling technology, good speakers, the option of being able to replace your CD-ROM only drive with the DVD or CD writer. There's a lot to like about the E500 series of machines, and there's a lot that I do like, and this is why I really enjoy having them.
I know it's I have to say this, not only is it the best Windows 98 era laptop I've ever owned, it's the best Windows 98 computer I've ever owned.
It does run Windows 98 exceptionally well. It's quite funny how business machines of the past have kind of become retro gaming machines of today.
I know.
It's because the consumer-based machines are, well,
for one thing, back then, nothing personal against them, but usually a consumer-based laptop of that era would have had a passive matrix display, which is good for very, very, very mild gaming, but you really can't get too far with that.
To be honest, I'm actually planning a video about, you know, what games you can play if you do find yourself in a passive matrix laptop.
Yeah.
Because there are titles that can be played quite easily on a passive matrix machine, ones that don't have a lot of motion, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But having said that, the E500 series does have a lot going for it, and I just really like the design of them, and I like how, you know, you've got the aluminium strip which says Compaq on it. You know,
Yeah.
I saw that and I thought, wow, that's quite unique.
Now, in my personal opinion, if you're like me and your main vintage computing interest lies in mid-90s era, like Windows 95, and you already have a desktop for that, which is a Packard Bell here. But you still kind of want Windows 98 era gaming capability, but you don't plan on using it nearly as frequently as Windows 95 era, I would get a laptop, because that does, you'll save on space and they're easy to work with. And if you're looking for a Windows 98 laptop, I would have to recommend the Armada E500 from Compaq. And only downside is that sometimes, unless you know people like I do, these can fetch a pretty high price on eBay. So you just gotta do a little bit of shopping around, and if you can find one of these at a good price, I would get it.
I mean, it took me about 6 months to find one within my price budget.
Yeah.
Because I've been looking since November 11. My first Pentium 3 was the Dell Latitude C610, followed closely by the Treblemate 522TX, which I took around with me a lot.
Yeah.
Before I got the E500, which then became my main go-to Windows 98 machine, because it is good at what it does. Now, I am aware that graphics power, certainly graphics power, among other things, lagged a lot away behind processing on laptops compared to desktops of the day. But nowadays, for playing older games, it really doesn't matter all that much. To be honest, something that only runs on Windows 98, I think, with the possible exception of Midtown Madness 2, you'll get away with it on an 8 meg graphics card, really.
Yeah, like we just saw the original Midtown Madness. It ran perfectly well on here.
Oh yeah, it does, and the speakers add a lot to the gaming.
Yes.
They do. I mean, it's you don't think that good speakers are going to add much to the experience of using a computer, but trust me, they do.
But in the words of Kel from Keenan and Kel, they do. But we better go ahead and end this video. We're coming up to near an hour here, but we hope you enjoyed this video. This is Billy Core signing off on June the 13th of 2014. Happy Windows 98ing, everybody. Wow, I just made up a new phrase.